ich habe jetzt nicht irgendwie eingeplant, dass wir weiterschalten müssen. Ich glaube, das macht Sinn. Doesn't matter, as long as you can get on stage very quickly.
Stay with Rebecca.
Okay. What?
I'm gonna stay with Rebecca on the side.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Under 10, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Under 3 minutes? What? Under 2 minutes? Yes. Okay. Good. We have to start in a bit, so maybe just take a seat so that other people also start taking.
It doesn't matter where we take seat, right?
No. So you are from Alpha as well, right?
Yeah.
From
Mexico.
Mexico, great. There's no, you know that Mexico will not have a speech.
No,
right. So that you will not have a speech, but you will come on stage. And at the closing ceremony, we will have again time for COYs. So maybe in Mexico can speak then, but we can't discuss this now, okay?
Okay. So
you just come on stage.
Okay.
And the COYs can stand there. But yeah, just.
It's at 10:30 when we
yeah,
go
I will say it.
Okay, perfect. And then we're
Mexico not. No, but maybe the closing. Okay. Just we can't discuss it now. Yeah, okay. Lena.
Yeah.
We have someone on the team who will come on stage.
How can I help?
Not at all, but we have to start now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. People, please have a seat. We have to start in 2 minutes.
Hi guys.
2 minutes are over. Welcome, COY. Good morning. It's great to have so many of you here. I'm really excited about these 2 days. So yeah, again, welcome to you, but also to our special guests who are here.
We have 3 special guests. We can't fail to recognize the presence of UNFCCC, Mr. Niklas from the GCR. We also have a list of very important people amongst us, Miss Adriana from the S team, and our colleagues from the Communications UNFCCC. So we're very much grateful for the opportunity you've taken and the time out of your busy schedules to put youth, to give youth matters much importance. Leonard?
I'm Leonard from the Netherlands.
I'm Dolphin from Kenya.
And we too will guide you through this short 1-hour opening ceremony. Yeah, we will also jump right away into the first speech because it's not so much time. And we have the director of the university here who kindly gives us the space to use, Tomasz Pietrzykowski. Can you please come on stage and give a short speech?
Hello everybody, good morning. It's a real pleasure for me to welcome all of you to the University of Silesia. I'm doing that on behalf of the rector of the university, Professor Andrzej Kowalczyk, on behalf of myself and the whole academic community of our university. Okay, that's a better one. It's really great honor and pleasure for us to have all of you here at our university. It's comforting to see how many of you engage in the struggle against climate change and climate destruction. Please note that the University of Silesia is the perfect place to hold this conference due to several reasons. First of all, we are in the heart of the region, which not very long ago was one of the main polluters in Europe due to heavy industry, coal mining, steelworks, a lot of that old type civilization. Now it's largely gone, but still we have a lot of problems, a lot of things to do to solve the remainings of what Silesia used to be for 200 or 300 years. And the second reason is that University of Silesia is an educational and research institution, and we regard this meeting as an important part of our educational mission. This is exactly what university is due to do for the society, for its environment and for the environment. And we are really grateful to you that you help us in this way so much to fulfill our basic educational social duties as a university. And we are here at the social science department, and it goes without saying that both the problems with climate as well as the measures necessary to prevent the further destruction of our ecosystem involve a great deal of social problems too. So I regard this conference also as an opportunity for us to discuss issues that are in a direct research scientific interest of our academic community. And last but not least, I have also some personal reason to be grateful and happy that you have come to us and we'll discuss the climate issues just here at the University of Silesia. I'm personally involved in animal rights, animal liberation movement, and I believe that the causes of animal liberation and the causes of climate protections are very strictly interrelated because the source of both those problems are to a large extent the same attitudes of indifference to future, indifference to suffering, indifference to everything except of pure short-term economic or economic gains or power relations. So that's why I also feel personally satisfied that in my capacity as a vice rector I can open this event, which for me personally is by far the most important side event of the COP conference that will start in Katowice very soon. So please let me wish you interesting, fruitful discussion, pleasant stay in Katowice. This is the city that has a lot to offer, much more than it's noticeable at the first sight, and I'm pretty sure that you will use those days that you will spend here to enjoy and to take advantage of everything that is available here in Katowice. Thank you very much.
What a very nice speech. From where I come from a very rich country. I come from Africa. When a visitor comes to your place, it's very rude, so rude not to give them something to, like a cup of tea or a glass of water. So for the next session, Leonard will take us through Energizers.
Right. Yeah, it's very special that we come together with so many people in one place. And I always think it's just 2-3 days that we will spend together here at the COY, and this time will just run by very quickly. So I would like to ask you to just take 5 minutes to look around, to pick one person you don't know. Do this right now. And take this person and talk with this person about what you want to achieve on this weekend. What do you want to get out of it? What do you want to learn? What kind of people do you want to meet? And 1 second. Psst. 1 second, hey. Hey. There's one more thing. In the closing ceremony, I would like to ask you to talk again to a person and see if you actually achieved what you wanted to achieve. So keep this in mind. Yeah, take 5 minutes, please. No.
Choose a nice thought.
Sorry?
Choose a nice thought.
Yeah, I think it's also nice to have this art, to have like now this and in the closing ceremony talk about it again. And then I really think that these corporates just pass by so quickly. That you really consciously try to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, we need the time just. Do you maybe want to ask one person in the audience what they came up with? And then I just, no, just around the mic, right? What?
Is it time yet?
Yeah, it's time. Yeah, like, what, sorry? Yeah, it's now. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Hi guys. Hi. Hi. Let's all have a seat kindly. kindly let's all have a seat. I know it was a very nice session interacting with your fellow young people. I'd like to ask just one person to start from the audience to stand up and tell us what they expect at the end of this COY 14. Just one person. Any volunteer?
Hands up. Yeah? I think this will be difficult. It's just, just share your story of what you expect from this weekend.
Oh yeah, well, we were talking about that we want to interact with each other and to, oops. So hi, I'm Helena, I'm from Austria. We've been talking a little bit and we agreed on the fact that we just want to talk to people from all over the world and to share what's the different problems in our situation, because it changes a lot wherever you are. And it's interesting to know how people approach to environmental change and what they're doing, what projects work out, and how we can help each other and inspire each other.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah, the next are two speakers here from the university. And this is Lukas Grabolus and Christoph Tarabura. Lukas is from the student government and will just have some short words about his work here in the student government, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, at the very beginning of my speech, I would like to welcome you in Poland, in a country that celebrates the 100th anniversary of independence, and with the walls of the university, which has just celebrated its 50th birthday. Welcome to University of Silesia in Katowice. As president of student government, I am immensely proud and joyful that so many young people from around the world have decided to visit our amazing city to participate in such an exciting conversation about the ever-changing climate. As a biologist, unfortunately, I have to notice that this is an issue that we are facing every day, and many future generations will suffer too. Smog that surrounds our cities, polluted rivers, high demand for plastic, it all slowly destroys us. I have so much trust in you, young and ambitious people who will change the face of this world. I wish that after the conference of youth, you will fare richer thanks to knowledge that you have acquired and for all the new acquaintances that you will make in the next few days. Thank you for your attention, and once again, welcome to Poland.
Wow, that was a very nice warm welcome from our host. That was very nice. So next in line, we'd like to introduce Mr. Christoph to say something.
Okay, hi everyone. So today is the day. Today is the long-awaited day has come. So the start of Conference of Youth. But actually to get there, we had to start working from June. And to be honest, it's a huge challenge for all the volunteers. None of us previously has been associated with Yango, and we didn't even know what the idea of COY is in general. We had to learn everything from the beginning. But nevertheless, we managed to establish a very good relationship, which became the foundation on which we based all organizational activities. So, as I have already mentioned, we started all organizational activities in June. So we have like 5 months of very intensive work behind us to give you, the all participants, of this unique, even of the global scale, I think so, of this unique event to give you the best conditions to learn, exchange experience and knowledge. And we hope that this conference will become a place where the most creative ideas will be created. So now I think it starts for a bunch of statistics. So first of all, over 150 volunteers took part in the organization of the conference. And in our program, we have over 100 different events, workshops, seminars, debates, and last but not least, exhibitions. And the last, in total, the most important statistic, which perfectly illustrates the greatness of the project. So we host more than 1,000 people from over 100 countries. Yeah, it's a big thing. So now I'm convinced that this city, the city of Katowice, has never experienced such an event that is organized by a young people for a young people. And to conclude my short speech, I would like to wish all of us here, when we meet again in this hall in Saturday at the closing ceremony, that we'll be satisfied with the results of our joint work. Especially we are acting on behalf for all the people on earth, those present, and maybe it's more important for the future generations also. And to paraphrase Jim Carter's words, like music and art, love of a clean environment is a common language that can translate the politician on social borders. Thank you so much.
Hi, that was a very nice speech, thank you. Next on the floor, I'd like to call upon Yungo to tell us what exactly this Yungo is, who are we, what we're doing, where we are headed to, and where we are coming from. Yungo, team? Okay, so we'll have Ms. Hugh Grashner, Ms. Clara, Saffron, and Jeffrey. Kindly, a round of applause. Now, before I hand over the mic, we can all agree that these guys have done an awesome job, right? So let's give it another round of applause for the great job.
Hi everyone, this is Saffron from Sri Lanka, a member of Yango Bottom Lining team. Today, the global youth population had doubled in many regions of the world, and some of them even projected to have a median age of 15, especially in Asia and Africa. Therefore, as the custodian of the global affairs, we should capacitate ourselves, and this youth conference is aimed to enhance meaningful participation of young people in the international climate process. On behalf of Yango Bottom Lining team, please accept a big pleasure. We welcome you all to COY 14 and also to Katowice, Poland. It's a huge honor to have you all here together from all around the world and for us to welcome you all. Throughout this presentation, we intend to provide you a brief overview of Yango, and Yango activities and COY functionalities. The Bottom Lining team is a support structure of a broader Yango, providing logistical oversight and capacity for operational activities. The compositions of the Bottom Lining team is made up of Yango volunteers with a long-term involvement in the process of proving a facilitative lead for the constituency. Thank you.
Thank you, Safran, and I would just like to begin by reiterating a very, very big welcome to young people from all over the world, and I know there are some students from schools who are here, to Katowice, to COY, and also for those who are coming to COP. It's a very big honor to have you here. I'm Yukratna from India, also a member of the Yango bottom lining team, and as Safran said, we would just try to encapsulate in a very brief format of what Yango has been doing, especially for new members here who are joining us for the first time in this incredible journey. So Yango more or less is a network, an independent network of more than 195 NGOs based in 72 countries. This mapping was done actually just a couple of weeks ago, comprising a membership of more than 3,000 children and youth in terms of membership. In terms of representation base is even bigger, and we also, the membership itself is not limited to just organizations. We also have individuals who are part of the membership. Some of the key points to note, because you will be joining and navigating through this. So we follow a structure where we do not enforce any form of hierarchy, so no hierarchy structure, and it is consensus-based format. So everybody basically agrees. It's also what UN climate change does. It's a consensus-based decision-making where you have to get everybody on page to take a decision. And it is the oldest and largest volunteer-run youth and children constituency to an existing UN agency at the moment. So next slide. Yeah. In context is again a very brief slide describing about what we have been doing. So there are actually the two boxes. One box should say policy operations, and communications is a bit, the color is a bit there. So the members engage through 3 different work streams, and then they're further into the working groups, but the 3 working pillars include policy operations, actions, and communications. And you would hear more about it throughout the course of COY. And yes, the engagement avenues, it is very important to recognize, continuing what Safran said, the meaningful engagement of children and youth is what is at the core of what we do. So it serves as a formal constituency to UN Framework Convention of Climate Change. At the same time, also engages with several other UN processes and bodies which we have highlighted here. So it's really about making a space for children and youth through providing mandated spaces so that they have their voices represented, and especially for young people coming from developing countries, coming from the most vulnerable countries who are often underrepresented in such big decision-making processes. So with that, I think that I would pass on to Clara, and again, it's a big honor to have you all here, and we are incredibly proud to welcome each and every one of you to Yango and to International Youth Climate Movement. Thank you.
Yes, so I would like to give a very, very brief overview of how the history of COY has been. So you know that this is the 14th Conference of Youth. That means that before that, annually, 13 conferences of youth have happened before. The first one, 2005, in Montreal. And since then, over 25,000 youth have been engaged in the conferences of youth, representing over 125 nationalities, which is pretty cool, I think. Yeah, so 13 global COYs, and then apart from global COYs, there's local COYs happening. These are conferences that happen either on a regional or on a national level, or on a very local level, so most of them concentrate on topics that are also connected locally, and then they feed in to the global COY, and therefore, of course, also in the negotiations of COP. Because COYs always take place in the country where COP is hosted, right before COP. Yeah, so as you can see, the number of participants of COYs have increased in the past, and we are very, very grateful that this year the University of Silesia has offered to host us here, and they've done an amazing job, and we're very happy to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeffrey, one of the facilitators from the Yango Policy Operations team. I'm from China/Canada, so I just want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the Yango Policy Operations team and about how we track negotiations and how we advance progressive policy positions that represent the voice of children and youth around the world at COPs and other UN climate change processes. So the objective of the policy operations team is to facilitate the development of a comprehensive set of policy positions that including the negotiation positions on the Paris Agreement work program. The constituency, this constituency collective policy position paper will aim to consolidate all of the policy positions by each Yango working group, and we want to have a unified voice on the technical aspects of the PAWP negotiations and the general values guiding the UN climate change processes around the world. Now the role of the policy operations team is purely facilitative in nature. Each individual Yango working groups will be able to have a role in devising and developing their own policy positions in the area of their specialization. With this, our aim is to gather the expertise of all members from the Yango constituency and conduct constituency-wide consultation for the adoption of a collective position paper prior to the opening of COP24 on Sunday. The objective is triple. First, so we can map out our policy positions that address intergenerational equity, ambitious targets, as well as the advancement of global climate action. Second, we want to have a point of reference for new Yango members who are getting acquainted with negotiations and want to understand the implications of each negotiation agenda items in a layman term. And third, to have a place to go to for Yango members where they can read about our positions if they want to further engage with the constituency. So there will be a constituency-wide briefing happening today from 12 to 1 in room 337. We highly encourage any young people who are going to continue going into COP24 to join this briefing from 12 to 1 at room 337, so we can talk more about how to better engage with Yango at COP and at COY. Thank you.
Yeah. Just a very quick logistical note. For everybody who is going to COP, especially, from 12 to 1, I think you must have received an email as well, some of you at least. In room number 337, we have a briefing planned to chalk out the working groups and also kickstart the work on policy ops, actions, and communications. All the members not going to COP are equally welcome to join to get acquainted with the negotiating processes. But they're very encouraged, people going to COP, to join this briefing and now the interesting part, equally interesting part. We will have in the evening what we call as the regional breakouts. So 6 to 7 p.m. How many people here are from Asia? Woo, great. Europe. Africa. It's represented. Don't be sad, there are people coming tomorrow as well, and later today. So today we are going to have the regional breakout of Asia and Europe. It will happen from 6 to 7 p.m. So everybody from that region get together. There is no as such definitive agenda, but we will have some facilitators for you who will have some guiding questions on what you want to go. So it's really a self-organized breakout. We want to give space to the regions to organize themselves and really feel comfortable. Asia and Europe, we will organize the timings outside at where the agenda will be there, or you will receive it in your emails. And then tomorrow we have the regional breakout of Africa and Latin America and Caribbean. So, okay, great. So yeah, that is all from our side. And yes.
And one more thing. We have guests here from the UNFCCC, and we have a briefing with them about action for climate empowerment and global climate action, also in room 337 at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So everyone is very welcome to invite and get into the to come and get into the conversation. So yeah, please come. That's all from our side. Thank you.
Wow. Imagine organizing all this, bringing youth from all across the world, and still preparing you for COP24. How good is Yungo? Another round of applause for Yungo team, kindly.
Okay, next we have a look at the COYs, because this is not the only COY that happened this year. Clara already said it very briefly. There were actually 20 local Conference of Youth happening around the world. And well, you saw the map. They happened like really across the country, in South America and Central America, in Africa, Europe, Asia, the Pacific Islands. And all these COYs, they fed into this conference through policy positions so that it's easier for people to participate, but also they empower people in their countries. They actually make it easier for people to participate in young and with climate change. So yeah, I ask people from the COY teams to come on stage, and we will hear 5 stories, brief stories from the individual COYs, that we get an impression what actually happened throughout the year at these different events. Yeah, please applause to all the COYs that happened this year. I know that there are more COYs. Like, come to the front. Netherlands. Irene, yalla. Yeah, just stay here. It's good. And we will have a start with Nikhil from the COY in Fiji.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Nikhil, and I'm from Fiji. I was the organizer for the local Conference of Youth in Fiji, and I am here to present to you the outcomes of our local Conference of Youth. Okay, so COY Fiji took place from the 13th to the 15th of September in Suva, which is the capital of the country. And COY Fiji was Talanoa oriented, where we focused on the Talanoa facilitative dialogue, and the Talanoa sessions were conducted all 3 days of the conference, using the 3 central questions of the overall Talanoa facilitative dialogue, which were where we are, where do we want to go, and how do we get there. The conference participants were divided into 6 thematic areas of their choice, which included ocean protection, climate change and adaptation, climate change and mitigation, climate finance, climate change and technology, and finally, sustainable development goals. The participants were engaged in their respective areas to discuss the 3 Talanoa dialogue questions on each specific day. So the Talanoa process were recorded and documented into the official local Conference of Youth Fiji outcomes document. And secondly, a Talanoa video was made covering the 3 days of the engagement, which will also be played at COP24 at the Pacific Pavilion. Finally, other than the conference, the local Conference of Youth Fiji Working Group Committee worked on submissions that were sent to respective Fijian government departments and entities, and we were engaged in community work for climate change education in Fiji, where we educated Fijian youths about climate change and the Paris Agreement and the importance of youth involvement in combating climate change. Thank you.
Okay, hi, I'm Katja. I'm from Austria, and I'm part of the COY Austria team. And we're part of Climates Austria. And we were 5 people organizing the conference in Austria, and we only started in July. And I didn't even know that a COY exists before July. So I just want to tell you that in a really short time, a lot can be possible if you have a great team, if you have great people who can work together and who have a vision, and when we know where we want to go. So for us, the last 5 months were really intense, but we enjoyed it, we learned a lot, and it was great. And then our COY happened only 2 weeks ago, but the energy that the participants, or the energy that you had during the weekend was great. It was amazing to see what people can do and how the community was building from the first day till the last day. You could really see the difference. You could see people becoming friends, people working together, and there were so many nice ideas generated, and we can see now they are still working on it. So there is something happening, and that's what we want to build up. And we also want to have more COYs during the next years, of course. And this year, from the 20 COYs, only 2 of them were in the global north, the Netherlands and in Vienna. So that's why we want to focus on, or not focus, but we want to help people in Europe to organize more LCOYs. So there is also going to be a workshop tomorrow. Everybody who is interested, please join us. And we are going to tell you how to organize an LCOY, or maybe we can tell you more about how to not organize an LCOY. So yeah, hope to see some of you tomorrow.
Great. So, hi everyone. My name is Hasley. I'm from Haiti. I'm a young climate ambassador in Haiti. And also I'm the coordinator of Logistical Haiti. So, the Logistical Haiti brings together 100 leaders, journalists, and students from all over Haiti. So the main objective of this conference is strengthening the capacity of young people and empower them to make concrete action to fight against climate change. And this conference will organize some workshops, training related to green economy, water and climate change, etc. We organize a dialogue, and the three questions: where we are, where we want to go, and how we get there. And in this Talanoa dialogue, we have three panelists. We talk about this question, and the panelists from the youth lead project, civil society, and research. And we have also, we elaborate a youth declaration in which we have three topics like education to climate change, participation and inclusion, and climate finance. We have a big support from United Nations in Haiti, the office, and civil society platform on climate change in Haiti. This COY is very important for us because, as you know, Haiti is very, very vulnerable about climate change. So thank you.
Hi, it's me again. Like I said earlier, my name is Dolphin from Kenya. We organized a local conference of youth in Kenya. Our theme was mainstreaming S into NAPs and NDCs. That's basically action for climate empowerment into National Adaptation Plan and NDCs. Our COY was 2-day conference on 19th and 20th. What we did, we had the theory policy part where we had experts come to explain to the participants what the most crucial climate change policies in the country and how they can go about them. That was basically for the first day for the LCOY. Then for the second day, we took a more practical approach because we know young people tend to get bored, they disappear, and yeah, some never come back. So what we did, we held a climate simulation exercise. How many of you know about C-Roads, the C-Roads software? So basically, we use that. So basically, the participants, they were divided into groups, not basically groups, but regions, US, EU, developing world, developed, Africa, and the rest. Then they basically negotiated as if they were representatives from those countries. And they actually stepped out of their shoes from being Kenyans to international negotiators, basically. That's what we did for day 2. LCOY was a success in Kenya. We have a policy, a Kenyan youth position that we have presented to our national government because they are actually part and parcel of, they helped us organize this local conference of youth. We are also working with civil society organizations, the Pan-Africa Climate Justice Alliance, that's PACJA, basically, and we're gonna work with them to help develop an African position from the CSO space and basically help push this climate change agenda forward. To conclude, I know I talk a lot. I'd like to say what came out was that young people from Kenya want double climate action. We no longer just want climate action. We want double climate action. Double to mean as the older generation fights for climate change, we're also going to start fighting as the younger generation. Thank you. I think we'll welcome the next COY.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Luz. I'm from Argentina. I'm one of the organizers of the national COY. It was a 2 days conference. We had almost 500 of registrations, and we finally have 300 participants of all over Argentina. For us, it was very important to have a representative COY because almost all the events are hosted in the capital, so we wanted to have one in the center to get the most youth as possible, and I can say that we achieved it. We are very, very proud of our outcomes and the results of the national COY. There were 2 days. During the first day, we had training sessions with the specialists of Argentina. One of them, for example, was is a scientific that participated in the recent special IPCC report, so it was a pleasure to us to having her with us. During this first day, we also work on another diagnosis to try to analyze how youth see the reality or how climate change was affecting us regarding 5 topics. We work on ACE, Action for Climate Empowerment. We work on energy efficiency and renewable energy. We work on forest. We work on alliances to achieve the SDGs related to climate change. And we work also on local governments' adaptation to climate change. So the first days we work, we train, we learn a lot, we make a diagnosis, and during the second day we work on solutions. We wanted one solution per topic. So finally, we have a very hard working day. We also had a declaration, a national declaration, and we created a national youth COY, a national network youth climate COY. So, well, it's already working. There is a lot of young people connected and creating projects, synergies, and well, we are very proud of the outcomes. So finally, I would like to invite you to take the challenge of organizing a national or a regional COY, COY. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be very challenging, but it's really worth it. So. Thank you, everyone, and it's a pleasure being representing Argentina National COY here. Thank you.
Wow. I'd like you to know that Luz and Nickel are also part of the Global South Scholars, right? Yes. We've had a very interesting facts and what's currently happening on the ground in concern to COYs. So let's give them a round of applause as they walk back. Round of applause. So next in stage, I'd like to welcome Mr. Niklas from the Global Climate Action. Niklas will come and talk to us about how young people can best engage in issues of climate change processes. So, Mr. Niklas, kindly take the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here. I think you have more fun at the COYs than we do have at our COP, so maybe I'll stay here. My name is Niklas Svenningsson. I am working with UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, a far too long name, so just UN Climate Change. At the outset, I really want to thank you, University of Silesia, Tomasz Piotrowski, for hosting this COY. The COYs are important to our process. It's really essential. I want to thank the organizing team, Teresa, Evelina, Agnieszka, and everybody else who have been bringing this together. And of course, the excellent youth focal points, Gretna and Clara. Thank you very much for getting everybody together and getting us here as well. Now, on Sunday, we open the gates for COP24, Conference of the Parties, session 24. So we have this every year. So we have had 23 COPs before, we have 24 COPs. I mean, what 24 COPs? How is that possible? It's simple. We have climate change, we have one planet, we have to do something about it, right? So how can we still be here after 24 COPs and still negotiate? I think we share that question, all of us. And I tell you, the parties do that also. The reasons is simple. We have 198 parties to the convention, 197 countries, one integration organization, European Union. Every country have their own culture, their own economy, their own religion, their own ideas, ideals, politics, differences in many different ways. And everybody are approaching climate change from their perspective, their very specific perspective. And climate negotiations is nothing but the art of compromise. And that is very, very difficult to do. But they actually have succeeded quite well, because we do have a global blueprint for climate action, which is called the Paris Agreement. It was adopted in Paris 3 years ago, 2015. The question is, why are we having a negotiation here at Katowice 3 years later? Well, the reason is simple. Those of you familiar with, I'm Swedish, by the way, so if you're familiar with one of our largest companies from Sweden, IKEA, you know that if you go there and you want to buy a piece of furniture, you get this flat package. So you buy a bookshelf, and you come home and you open the package, and it's not the bookshelf there. You have a lot of pieces, and you need to put it together. The Paris Agreement is the IKEA package. Now we need instruction for putting it together, and that is what is called the Paris program of work. The Paris Agreement Program of Work, PAPW, hopeless name. Anyway, it's the implementation instruction. So at COP, we are going to be about 25,000 people coming and going over the 2 weeks. We have about, not one meeting, we have 2,000 separate meetings during a typical COP. Every meeting contributing, looking at different aspects of the Paris Agreement, then coming together into hopefully a final decision that will be adopted here then on hopefully the 14th of December. Something that everybody knows is that it's very different from, negotiating an agreement and implementing an agreement is very different. A government is perfectly capable of negotiating, but implementation they cannot do alone. Nobody can do it alone. We need everybody on board. We need the private sector, civil society, we need churches, governmental organizations, individuals. Really, everybody needs to be part of this. You need to be part of this, I need to be part of this. So we have a new name, in a sense. We call it non-party stakeholders. It's a very stupid name, if you ask me, but anyway, that's what we are. You are the non-party stakeholders. And what we're trying to do is to work together under the Global Climate Action Agenda to help implementing the Paris Agreement. A very fundamental part of the Paris Agreement is Article 12. It's called also Action for Climate Empowerment, you have heard it. And that is about how do we educate, how do we train people to understand climate change? How do we make sure that there is a transparency in climate action, that everybody can participate and get information about it? And how do we work on this together internationally? The good news is that this is the only part of the implementation package that is already agreed. 6 months ago in Bonn, parties said, okay, this is what we are going to adopt in Katowice. So we're very happy for having that. And what we are doing now, this COP, in relation to ACE, to Action for Climate Empowerment, is not to negotiate, but really start discussion implementation. There are two especially important days for you to participate in or follow if you can. One is a Young and Future Generations Day. It's happening next Thursday, the 6th of December. And the following one is the Education Day, which is 1 week later, Thursday, the 13th of December. These days, which are organized by UNFCCC, but with very essential support and input from the youth community, from the youngos, is where we are trying to give you the voice and to tell our policymakers and our negotiators that this is what we can do, and this is how you can help us. So please join us on those days. We have very interesting programs. Now, what can you do as youth delegates, whether you go to COP or not? Well, first of all, I think that you are the change makers. You are the visionaries. I mean, we are all on this planet. We all have ideas on what needs to happen. But the fact is, and we know this, that many, many times you have a bigger stake because you are inheriting this planet in a sense. So we need your active participation in the implementation of the Paris Agreement. We want you to share your knowledge and awareness at our conferences, but the COP is just 2 weeks of the year. We need this the whole year. We need you to talk with your governments, with your local decision makers. Action is not happening at the COP. It's happening at home, in your daily lives, when you are participating in election, when you're working with your politicians, when you speak with your family members, your friends, and everybody, you know, to really install this spirit of, yes, we can do this. Support your governments to implement the ACE agenda. Every country needs to have focal points. Most countries don't have a focal point yet. The decision is very, very new. But please help your government to get that person in government who is responsible for implementing the ACE agenda. Many of you are working on adaptation, mitigation projects. Fantastic. Keep doing it. You know, highlight and tell people what can be done. And lead by examples in your life. Don't take the limousine or helicopter to school. Walk, bike, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Just to say that you are very important for us. Youth is an essential part of negotiation, has always been it, but it's becoming more important now when we're moving into implementation. Going from A to B is never a straight line. It's going like this, up and down. And you are likely to stumble at some times. We have done it many times in our process. You know about the COP15 in Copenhagen, which was it was dubbed as a Copenhagen. We're going to get an agreement, and then everything fell apart, and it became Nopenhagen. The fact is that if we didn't have that failure, we would not have had the Paris Agreement in Paris. We needed to have that really done thing before going up. So don't give up. Keep moving. My former boss, Christiana Figueres, who is a bundle of positive spirits, she had a saying. She said, impossible is never a fact, it's an attitude. I would like to rephrase that a little bit and saying that possible is not an attitude, it's a fact. And I'm sure that you're going to bring that to the COP and beyond. But thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the inspiring words, but also for giving some insight, especially for the people who are new to Yango and to the UN process. I hope that some things became more clear and also more encouraging to take part in this. Unfortunately, we have to jump now from this speech to some more practical issues about the conference again. And we will start with the awareness team that will play a very important role during this weekend. But I will just pass on the microphone, let someone more experienced explain you what it is about. Hita, please.
Thank you, Leonard. Hi, everyone, and once again, welcome to the COY. I'm Hita.
Hi, my name is Victoria.
And we're members of the awareness team. So what is the awareness team? We want to make sure that participating at the COY 14 will be a great experience for everyone from diverse backgrounds, and that everyone can feel comfortable and secure at this conference. But this can only work if all the people behave in cognizance of the values of integrity and respect for diversity. The COY 14 awareness team shall be here to support anyone in case they suffer from any form of discrimination or feel uncomfortable due to certain reasons at the conference. Awareness is not a concept, it is a fact, and it opposes all forms of boundaries of violations, violence and discrimination through sexist, racist, confrontational, homophobic or transphobic acts and attitudes, and does not tolerate them, but acts against them or points out possible courses of action. The awareness team is linked to the overall anti-harassment policy of the COY 14, and the awareness team members will be present in various spaces at the venue, and we will be easily approachable by people that have experienced any forms of boundaries of violation or discomfort. We can be identified by this red diamond on us.
Okay, so in short, we just want to make sure that you will be listened to and your perspective won't be questioned. If you want, we can, if you will have any issue, you can talk to us, we can figure out any solution. And of course, one more time, if you want to look for us, you just have to search for this square or a diamond, and pretty much that's all.
Thank you.
Hi again. We have a few housekeeping logistical announcements that we're gonna make.
Okay. So yeah, people from the COY 14 team will just give you some more details about the logistics for the weekend. Just we want to say one thing already before. After this opening ceremony, there will be a Polish class in this room for all those people who want to learn some important survival kit words in Polish. So if you're interested, just stay here after this opening ceremony. And now some logistical details. Thanks, Christoph.
Oh yeah, thank you. So yeah, I have to add all the Polish language lessons will be here. So it's not necessary to move somewhere. So stay here and we will start for like a few minutes, yes? I think so. What's more, if you have any question, you can always ask our volunteers, the guys with the white t-shirts or yellow jackets. And on the ground zero, there is a luggage room. You can leave your luggage if you want. Downstairs, there is some canteen. You can eat, drink something. And in level -1, there is also a cloakroom. So if you have some coats or something, you can leave there also. I think it's pretty much everything. So I think now it's the time for a poll. Okay, no, thank you.
Hi. As we conclude, we'd like to sing, all of us, not just the moderator. We have 2 songs. There's this first one, and then there's the other one.
And I would like you to stand up for this. We would like you to stand up for this. So let's take the energy from this song, from these 2 songs, to start in this conference with, all of the passion that we have. For the first song, it works like this. We 2, mainly Dolphine, because I sing horribly, will sing one line, solid as a rock, and you sing back, right, rooted as a tree. Okay. And now we do the full song. And then for the second one, we sing it together. And because it's a little bit more complicated, we'll start very slowly. We will just sing. Everyone who knows the lyrics just chimes in. And then we get faster and faster until we get the real pace. Let's see if we can make this happen. The first exercise of collaboration, maybe that comes close to UNFCCC process. I don't know. We will see. Okay, Dolphine?
My voice is very nice. Be nice to my voice. Solid as a rock.
Solid as a rock,
rooted as a tree. We are here, standing strong in a rightful place. Rightful place, it's a rightful place. Solid as a rock, rooted as a tree. We are here, standing strong in a rightful place. In a rightful place. Solid as a rock, rooted as a tree. We are here, standing strong in a rightful place. In a rightful place. A rightful place.
Okay.
I can see we have great voices.
I think this was a good start.
Yes.
But I think we can do much better actually for the second one. Let's try it. And I need the help of the people who can sing this one.
come this far, won't let go. We fought for streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have come this far, we won't go. We flood the streets with justice and we're freedom bound. We have come this far, won't let go. We flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have come this far, won't let go. We flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have come this far, we won't let go. We flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have come this far, we won't let go. We flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have come this far, we won't let go. We flood the streets with justice, we are freedom bound. We have...
And now let's make change on that weekend and learn some Polish after the ceremony. Thank you very much and have fun on this weekend.
We wish to officially say we've officially opened COY 14. Kindly, let's talk. let's discuss.